Hi guys, and welcome back to the first official video in my new house. It's a little bit loud since there's still nothing here and we are still working on the house. We're basically painting the entire apartment. But one of the things that is basically finished, besides, as you can see, a light, there's no light here, and we're gonna fix that today, hopefully. And the window is not blinded. The window is going to be completely blinded, so there will be no sunlight going through. But this is sort of the gaming corner, and it's a really cool structure here with a beam, whatever how you want to call it, and that really makes it sort of a corner. It's almost the same as I had with the retro corner in my old apartment, but this feels a little bit more like a room, like a different room. As you can see, everything is still, no games are here, mostly because of the light. If the sunlight doesn't go through anymore, I will put in all my games. Here is the new couch that I got. It's a two-seater, and we are waiting on a three-seater. And as I said, it's basically the same design, but every shelf I had that was separated between two sections of the apartment in my old house is now in one section in this apartment. And I actually am really happy because everything fits basically perfectly. So this is not put against the wall, right? It's still loose. It has to be put against the wall. And here's a light bulb switch. And if I remember correctly, this is or was the Nintendo Switch shelf that I made for the Nintendo Switch, basically. But I don't have a Nintendo Switch anymore. And this I didn't really use. I'm not entirely sure. What did I think I didn't use. I just had stuff here. But eventually, I'm not entirely sure. Can I put a PS1, probably a PS2 here? You can easily put a PS4 game in here, logically, because the Nintendo Switch has, of course, the same. These are games that and a PS2 game doesn't fit. These are actually games that I got recently. I got a bundle of games with PS2 and stuff, and demos. So this will be sort of the corner where I just put stuff in. And then we have the three shelves with PS3. Three shelves of PS3. It was more like two shelves of PS3, and then we had Xbox and Xbox 360. And this is, of course, where the PlayStation 2, the sort of the Japanese RPGs were. This is where it's going to be here. And then we have the PlayStation 1 section. So this is where the PlayStation 1 will be. And then we, of course, have the bigger one with the PlayStation 2. So this is all PS2. And then we have four shelves, of course, that will be PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. Biggie. And this was the shelf, if I remember correctly. This was, I think, the shelf that actually was also with PlayStation 2. And with all kinds of, here is the shelf with PS2. Now I can see it because of this. And here I had like the Final Fantasy games, the figures. Maybe I'm going to switch this with that though. Or I'm going to switch this with the last shelf, and that is this. So this little corner, I wanted to put the shelves against here, but I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like to see sort of a side view of the shelf. So I put the shelf here, and I can have some sort of displayed posters here. And eventually, if I would need a little bit more space, I could, make another shelf here. But this was basically the Japanese import section. This was where all the Japanese games were, the really imported Japanese games. And of course, this is the shelf that I had with the television, but I'm actually getting an old Philips CRT widescreen television from a friend of mine, and that is where this is going to sit. I think. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to fit it here or I'm going to fit it all the way back in the other side of the room. But this shelf, it will be here with the Xbox. I actually played Area 51 here. It's actually a game that I got. Pretty cool. But of course, playing older stuff on a newer television doesn't look that great. So this is sort of a sneak peek, a first view of how the game room is going to look. And as you can see, the ceiling is a little bit higher than in my other apartment, and that's really cool. So I hope you enjoyed it, and you will definitely see me next time with hopefully a full tour of the game room or perhaps even the entire apartment. So take care and see you next time.